So Benthic Two-Tubes goes off the rails again, as is his nature, as a partisan in Star Wars issue number 64. Plus, we get the ending to the Solo: A Star Wars Story miniseries comic adaptation. What's up, everybody? My name is Starrapter, and welcome to another episode of Star Wars Weekly, where every week you guys can count on me to break down the latest in Star Wars continuity that can range from the comics, novels, TV series, and more. This week I'm going to start off by talking about Star Wars issue number 64. So this is the part 3 of the Scourging of Shu-Torun, in which we have Leia putting together this master plan where she's going to take it back to the Empire. She is going to one of their big industrial worlds called Shu-Torun, is going to disrupt so they cannot use any kind of materials from that shipbuilding planet, basically. So we are in the midst of this whole operation. It's a kind of multiple setting, pronged attack thing. So we have at this point that Leia is using the help of this changeling to basically identify herself as the Queen Trios and sneak aboard this particular castle to get the clearance codes to lock down the system and to also open up the shield around the spike, which is this crucial structure which holds together the planet. With that being disrupted, it's going to cause a slow decay of the atmosphere, which will have everybody slowly evacuating before that the planet is devoid of anything that could be used from it. So that is what they are ultimately trying for. In the end of this issue, we have Luke, we have Benthic Two-Tubes, and Chewie, who begin their assault once the shield is down, thanks to Leia and the Changeling and Miority and Han Solo. They go aboard there, and little beknownst to Luke, well, Benthic Two-Tubes has another plan. He is thinking that he is going to just outright immediately destroy the planet, causing sacrifice of tons of innocent civilians, but he is so pestered by the fact that they have destroyed Jeddah, his planet, and he is going to take it back to the Empire no matter what. So we have a little bit of a conflict between Luke and Benthic at this point of the story, and that's where this issue ends. So I did enjoy the fact that Benthic Two-Tubes has ulterior motives. I like the fact that we see him actually killing this prisoner, even though Luke said we're going to take these guys back, and Luke is obviously not happy about that. So I like this whole subplot of having the partisans dealing with Luke, Han, Leia. They have completely different ideals, even though they're part of the Rebel Alliance. I'm just super excited and fascinated to see if Benthic is going to survive this, if he's going to carry on. Are we going to have the partisans as part of the Rebel Alliance going into the Empire Strikes Back? That to me is super interesting. I also really enjoyed seeing Chewie and Luke work together in this operation. I like seeing Luke as a commander, you know, kind of leading the shots and fighting back to back with Chewbacca with his blue lightsaber out. Looked totally badass. And overall, this whole scope of the story was really cool because it ended up having this big epic feel. Sort of like Return of the Jedi, where you have, you know, them on Endor, you have Luke facing Vader, you have this big space battle. It reminded me of that. It's kind of like this Ocean's 11 kind of feel too, because you have like the more clandestine type of activities that this changeling is doing, while you have Luke just going in, leading the assault force. So overall, this is a great story, and I cannot wait for the next issue next month. Moving over to our last issue of Solo: A Star Wars Story. This is issue number 7. So this picks up right from that pivotal moment where we have Qi'ra about to kill Han, and it goes all the way till the end of the movie. Everything is in between that point. So overall, there was only like one new thing in this entire issue, and it was this kind of strangely put in page where it was in between Han getting off of Savareen and before he sees Lando to win the Falcon that time. So it shows him and Chewie doing just a random bunch of stuff, but there's no dialogue, there's no narration or anything to really know what the point of that is. I'm guessing that the point of that page is to show how much work they went through to track down Lando, even though there's not really any definite reason for that to be there. So I like the fact that they include new stuff, but it just didn't seem like I knew what they were doing exactly. So overall thoughts of the miniseries were, it was okay. I was kind of underwhelmed because when I first heard that they expanded the miniseries from 5 issues to 7 issues, I thought, hey, maybe they're actually going to throw in so much new stuff that we've never even expected to see that wasn't put in the movie. And, well, I was let down to know that it wasn't really anything that new. I was very disappointed that we didn't even learn anything new about Darth Maul in this issue. In fact, there's only one page dedicated to Darth Maul. The entire part of this issue is only one page with Darth Maul. Now, it looked like an awesome piece of art for Darth Maul, but I would have liked to even see maybe a flashback perhaps or something. So they really seem like they have the lid tight closed on that whole Darth Maul aspect of him in this time period. But overall, it was a very solid adaptation. I got to give it credit for being very faithful to the overall story of Solo Star Wars Story. The artwork was great. The dialogue was great. So if you want to have a good representation of this in a comic book, this is definitely going to be up there with some of the best. So yeah, I would recommend this, but don't go expecting to see like a whole bunch of new storylines, because we really don't get any of that. Okay, moving over to my questions for this week. The first one comes to me on Twitter from James M, the Crazy Gamer Historian, 1999, at Robin McCormick. He asks, who is the most threatening villain in Star Wars? So I'm going to answer this in two ways. I'm going to answer it first off in Legends. I will say Darth Bane. Darth Bane pretty much destroyed the entire Sith lineage, creating a rule of two by going around the galaxy, absorbing as much knowledge as he possibly could. So this guy was a force to be reckoned with, and he was very devious, but also very powerful. His overall prowess as a warrior, plus his intellectual ability, make him pretty much second to none in the lore. This guy is absolutely ridiculous. I can't recommend enough to read the Darth Bane trilogy by Drew Karpyshyn, and hopefully we see this character in canon soon. He is in canon because he was in the Clone Wars, one of the last, actually it was the last episode until the new ones are going to come out on Disney Plus. So yeah, that is from Legends. Now for canon, I got to go with Darth Vader, especially after reading last week's comic. I was talking about Vader and about how the whole officer thing. Vader doesn't even have to be in a specific story, and you feel about his character is looming over, right? Rogue One, you kind of felt like this whole thing with Darth Vader the whole time, like he's looming in the background, and with this whole story about the Imperials fearing him as Vader's subordinates. Like, you don't know what this guy's gonna do. He's this Black Knight, and he chokes people with his mind, and he just kills anybody outright and doesn't think twice about it. So yeah, Darth Vader, got to give it to him. I know it's probably a cliche answer, but really, when you look at it, there is every reason to fear Darth Vader. So moving on to another question. This comes to me on YouTube from Cam Carroll. He asks, what's been your favorite movie of the Disney era of Star Wars and why? So I gotta go with Rogue One. Rogue One hit that sweet spot where it hit nostalgia, but it also brought in lots of new content to Star Wars. I liked how, like, the third act was unbelievable with the space action, with the ground combat. I liked a lot of the well put together kind of references to different things we've seen, like from Star Wars Rebels. You had Bail Organa, you had mentions of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So it was a lot of different things that kind of added up to this overall, and obviously Darth Vader at the end. Like, I left the theater thinking, like, holy crap, like, this is the best Star Wars movie I've seen since probably Empire, maybe. Like, this really feels like that initial reaction is how I really base a lot of my movies on, to a certain degree. And I haven't felt that much about a Star Wars story since. Definitely didn't feel with The Last Jedi. And I really liked Solo, but it wasn't as much to me as Rogue One. And I think it really goes back to the overall warfare, dealing with the Empire in such a way that really makes them feel like they are, crushing their boot on the galaxy and really putting these people into oppression, and the overall status of the rebellion, seeing the rebellion from a different degree where, yeah, not everybody in a rebellion is here. You look at Cassian Andor, and he pretty much just kills a guy within the first couple seconds that you see the character. So you start to get this different side of things, which was really interesting about, like, seeing a rebellion as more of a gray entity than a white or a black entity, right? It's different. It's more realistic, right, than what we've seen before. So overall, it just added so much layers to the overall canon and lore of Star Wars that I didn't expect. You get more into the Force, but not from the Jedi point of view, but from other religions that study the different ways of the Force and the mysticism that way. And you introduce plenty of very interesting characters like Director Krennic, Jyn Erso, her whole backstory with her father developing, something that would destroy the Death Star in a way that this movie interfaces so well into the opening sequence of A New Hope was just absolutely amazing. How they were able to actually put those two together. The technology that they were able to push with Grand Moff Tarkin's likeness, even though he passed away. Same thing with Carrie Fisher. They pushed technology, I think, in that movie more than they've ever done with any other movie. So I gotta give it to Rogue One. I'm hoping maybe Episode 9 might be my favorite new Star Wars movie. We shall see. But yeah, great questions, both of you guys. You can get your questions answered simply by commenting in the video down below on YouTube using hashtag Star Wars Weekly, or tweeting at Starrapter using hashtag Star Wars Weekly. So next week you guys can look forward to Age of Rebellion Princess Leia #1. That was supposed to be out this week. I got pushed back a week. We also have Age of Rebellion Grand Moff Tarkin issue #1, as well as Dr. Aphra issue #31. I cannot wait to see what happens in Dr. Aphra. One quick update, I'm going to try my best to get another video out to you guys next week, but I will be going to Star Wars Celebration on Thursday, so it's going to be a little bit of a tight stretch to get another one of these videos in, which I usually shoot late night on Wednesday, and I got to be up really early to catch my flight. So we're going to see how that goes. And if I don't get the video up, make sure you guys do follow me on Instagram. I will be posting all week from Star Wars Celebration in Chicago. I'm not going to actually be able to upload any videos while I'm there because I'm not bringing any of my computer equipment. So yeah, best way to see what I'm doing is to follow me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, all at Starrapter. Very easy to find me. And that's another question I have for you guys. If you guys want to send in your questions, or you want to see something that you maybe you're not going to be there in person, so if you want to see a certain thing, please contact me and say, hey, why don't you shoot this or something, because I will have my video camera. I will be doing some sort of footage for Star Wars Celebration. I'm not sure if I'm going to do like an overall vlog type thing, or if I'm going to do like little segmented videos that I'll be posting after I get back. So yeah, any kind of recommendations, anything you guys want to see, please contact me here in the comment section, on Twitter, whatever. But I do hope to have another video for you guys next week for Star Wars Weekly. And I also will be doing a preview video for those of you that are going to Star Wars Celebration, or those of you that are watching a live stream. You will be, I'll have a little preview video for what's coming up, stuff like that. So if any of that sounds interesting to you and you haven't already subscribed, please do so. It helps support the channel. It's very easy. You just click that red button as long as you have a YouTube account. It's that simple. So that's going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you guys so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.